Hello everyone. Today we are going to be going over Chapter 10, which is Facial Devices and Technology. We are working out of our standard Estheticians My Lady book, and again, Chapter 10. Let's begin. Explain the importance of the use of facial devices and technology. There are a variety of useful machines and devices that will enhance the esthetician's services. Each machine or device has a specific benefit for the skin and makes clients feel as though they are receiving a specialized service. In this chapter, you will learn how these tools are integrated into facial treatments. Although facial treatments can be performed effectively without electrical devices, optimal outcomes can be achieved more readily with facial devices and technology. Again, we are working out of our Chapter 10, and we are on page 411, but we are now going into page 412. Estheticians should study and have again a thorough understanding of facial devices and technology because they need to operate machines and devices safely, provide the best results for their clients, and enhance their service menu. It is vital to understand how safely each machine and device and the potential contraindications in using the machines or devices. There are a variety of useful machines and devices and new high-performance tools that will enhance the esthetician services, and it is important to be able to explain the benefits of each machine or device. To maintain professional credibility, estheticians must continue to be educated about the latest methods of skincare as new machines and technology emerge each year. Please highlight and put a star next to the following. Investing in high-quality machines and devices will increase both credibility and potential business revenue. Identify the basic concepts of electrotherapy. Electrotherapy is the use of electrical devices for their therapeutic benefit. Electrical devices enhance facial treatments by making it easier to give a skin analysis, by helping to achieve better product penetration, or by exfoliating the skin. These tools are especially effective for more challenging skin conditions such as aging or sun-damaged skin. Machines and devices can be purchased separately or as a multifunction unit, with many of the modalities all part of one unit, like the one shown on the picture on page 412. Estheticians must continue to be educated about the latest methods in skincare while being cautious of expensive trendy machines. Lasers, light therapy, microdermabrasion, and microcurrent are some of the advanced machines discussed later in Chapter 13, Advanced Topics and Treatments. It is important to be familiar with machines and devices even if you have chosen not to work with them. It is important to be able to educate your client on the benefits provided. Today's clients are well educated and have greater access to information. Hello, like the internet, right? And they will expect you to be knowledgeable about all skincare topics, trends, and tools. To maintain professional credibility, it is important that you are aware of current technology. That is absolutely true. You guys have to think about that. All of your clients, again, before they get services, they're always going to go to the internet, go online, and look for information and do their research. So if they ever ask you about certain treatments, certain machines, you want to be knowledgeable and be able to answer any questions they may have, even if you are not currently using a specific machine. Let's move on to page 413. General contraindications for electrotherapy. There are several contraindications for electrotherapy, so these include the standard facial contraindications that are discussed in previous chapters, okay, like Chapter 5, which was our skin analysis. So to prevent physical harm, some electrotherapy machine should never be used on A client with heart conditions, pacemakers, metal implants, or braces. Number 2, clients who are pregnant. 3, clients with epilepsy or seizure disorders. 4, clients who are afraid of electric current. And 5, clients with open or broken skin. If you ever have any doubts about whether a client can have electrotherapy safely, request that the client get a note from their physician approving electrotherapy treatment. Ensure the client removes jewelry and piercings before using electrical devices such as the Galvanic Machine. Use all machines as directed by the manufacturer because similar machines may have different mechanism. That is absolutely true, and work differently. Most machines discussed in this chapter are used for approximately 5 to 10 minutes while being integrated into the facial treatment. Explain the benefits of the hot towel cabinet. Towel warmers, also called hot towel cabinets or hot cabbies, are used to heat towels or products used in treatments and are commonly used in the treatment room. When to use a hot towel cabinet. So hot towels can be used for both face and body treatments. Cotton pads, 4x4s, aesthetic wipes, and products can be warmed in a towel warmer or specialized product warmer. Some towel warmers are equipped with ultraviolet lamps. Ultraviolet lamps in towel warmers may reduce bacteria, but are not effective for disinfection. You want to remember that. Effects of warm towels from a hot towel cabinet. So clients who do not have contraindications would benefit from the warm, soothing, softening action provided by steam towels, which can be used in the following way. You can use them for removing facial masks and products such as massage creams for softening the skin before performing extractions. And of course, we do both of those. Contraindications and best practices for warm towels from a hot towel cabinet. So, hot towels should not be used on clients who have extremely fragile or extremely sensitive skin, uncontrolled or advanced rosacea, open wounds or contraindicated skin conditions such as excessive acne lesions. Before placing the warm towel on the client's skin, be sure to adhere to the following guidelines. Always test the temperature of the towel or product on your wrist prior to use. I always say that usually if you have set up your treatment room at least 10 to 15 minutes before your client arrives, your towels do tend to get quite warm. So by the time you're getting ready to use maybe your third towel, it could be that third towel is very, very hot and you will always see the steam coming out of the towel. So checking for the temperature is an absolute must. And you guys already know that before placing this towel on the client's skin. Towels should never be too warm or left on the skin for too long because they can damage capillaries, cause overstimulation, and increase redness or irritation. Plastic melts in hot towel warmers. Therefore, use heat-resistant dishes to warm products. Okay. It is important to understand that while working on a client, anytime you enter the hot towel cabinet to retrieve an item, you must first remove your gloves or you will contaminate the cabinet door and the entire content of the hot towel cabinet. Once you remove the item you need, put on a new pair of gloves prior to returning to work on the client. Avoiding cross-contamination during any service is required by OSHA, as it is the use of gloves because you can be exposed to blood-borne pathogens the minute you begin any service. With advances in many products, ingredients, and advanced devices, you may find your treatment more geared towards a clinical approach when addressing product removal. These type of treatments primarily use 4x4 aesthetic wipes for removal versus hot towels. As you increase exfoliation or stimulation of the skin, as occurs with some advanced services, you will find that the use of hot towels may be contraindicated. Okay, that is true. Examples of such services are some advanced peels, as well as an in-depth microdermabrasion treatment. Okay, so instead of using a hot towel, which will again could possibly irritate the skin even more because of the warmth of the towels, you would be using 4x4 gauze. So preparation for the hot towel cabinets. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions, as there may be subtle differences in each device. Use an optimum effectiveness. In general, these are the steps you should perform to prepare the hot towel cabinet. Put on gloves, fold a towel in half, and roll the towel up. Add warm water, squeeze excess water from the towel, insert the towel in the hot towel cabinet, and turn on the cabinet to heat the towel. Load the cabinet until you have the desired amount of towels for your treatment, or plan ahead for your full client schedule. Now let's talk about safety and maintenance of the hot towel cabinet. A lot of this should be more of a review for you guys, right? So when you are ready to use the heated steam towel from the hot towel cabinet, put on again a new pair of gloves and remove the towel. Test the temperatures of the towel on the inside of your wrist over the gloved hand. If the towel is too warm, open it slightly and allow the towel to slightly cool, and then reset the temperature of the towel. So open the towel and apply the towel to the client's face, never covering the nose and mouth area. While the towel is on the client's face, you may apply gentle pressure to the towel to provide further relaxation. And of course, everyone will have their own protocol about how to exactly place the towel over the client's face. As for me, you guys know that I say stay away from obviously the nose and making sure that the client is able to breathe. All right. So to remove the towel, gently begin at the top and work your way down, lifting the towel off the face. If using the towel for product removal, you will use the ends of the towel to methodically remove the product, working from the top of the face down and circling back to address any remaining product once the towel has been removed. It is important to keep the hot towel cabinet clean and free from mold or mildew. At the end of the day, clean the inside and outside of the cabinet with an EPA registered disinfectant. Empty, clean, and disinfect the water catchment tray that is underneath the cabinet. Leave the door open, okay? Highlight that. Leave the door open to allow the cabinet and rubber seals to dry thoroughly. All right, let's move on. We're on page 416. Now, so again, it's going over everything that can obviously be found in a multifunction machine. So we just talked about the hot towel cabinet. Now we are moving on and we're going to discuss the magnifying lamp. So discuss the magnifying lamp and its uses. The magnifying lamp, also referred to as a loupe, okay, magnifies the face to help the esthetician treat and analyze the skin. The lamp uses a cool fluorescent light bulb. The magnifying lamp has various powers of magnification known as diopters. One diopter is equivalent to 10 times the magnification. Most lamps in the industry come in values of 3, 5, or 10 diopters, which means 30 times the power magnification, 50 times the power magnification, or 100 times the power magnification, respectively. 5 diopters are the most common magnifications. A good quality light should have a clear lens and be free of distortion. Since you are using the light often, any distortion will add strain to your eyes and make it more difficult to see the skin. Some skin analysis devices include handheld magnification tools, head visors, and cameras that view the skin at up to 200 times magnification and may include components that can access the skin's hydration levels. These devices are especially useful to track treatment progress in medical aesthetics or when performing advanced treatments such as a peel or a microdermabrasion. When to use the magnifying lamp. You should use the magnifying lamp during your skin analysis to determine the correct facial treatment, during extractions, as a source of additional lighting when needed for a treatment. Best practices for the magnifying lamp. So, lamps are designed to sit on a floor base or attach directly to a facial cart, okay, because you are able to purchase a magnifying lamp separately. And again, some of them, especially smaller ones, you are able to attach them to the cart if you are not interested in purchasing a multifunction machine that doesn't have a magnifying lamp on it. So it's really up to you. So again, the base that a magnifying lamp sits on may be sold separately from the lamp itself. Carts are not as mobile, so floor stands are preferred. It is worth getting a quality lamp that has a good knob that stays tight instead of one that obviously hinges and will last longer due to all the constant adjustments that you're going to be using and doing in positioning the lamp correctly for each client and treatment, right? Always use iPads, you guys, when the lamp is positioned directly over the client's eyes, over their face, right? These lights are very bright and it can, it can hurt their eyes. It is important to loosen the adjustment knob before moving the lamp arms up and down. Again, follow the manufacturer's recommendations for adjusting the knobs to ensure the longevity of the device. If you force the lamp into position without loosening the knobs first, you will force the lamp into position, you will wear out, okay? You will wear out the hinge of the lights and then it will not stay in position correctly. So, to avoid overreaching and hurting your back or wrist, you may need to stand up and move and adjust the lamp yourself. It is recommended not to adjust the hinge over the client's face or body. Safety and maintenance for the Maggie light. So, magnifying lamps can last many years if they are well constructed and maintained. Conversely, if they are abused and roughly handled, their longevity is obviously compromised. If problems do occur, they typically involve the adjustment arm. The spring on the arms can wear out and may break if not used with care. Some less expensive magnifying lights, have hinges rather than knobs that adjust, but these usually wear out faster. Periodically, check the screws around the light to ensure that they are not loose. The arm and bolt underneath the base may also need tightening. A simple toolbox with screwdrivers and wrenches is handy to have in the facility or somewhere in your treatment room. So to clean the lens, turn off the lamp, let it cool, and then spray it with, again, a disinfectant and wipe with a soft cloth. Avoid using paper products because paper towels and tissues, they do tend to scratch the lenses over time. Clean and disinfect the entire lamp, including the base, after each use. All right, so again, very simple maintenance for a Maggie light, and again, one of the mostly used tools in aesthetics. The Woods lamp and its uses. You guys, so the Woods lamp is a filter black light that is used to illuminate fungi, bacterial disorders, and pigmentation problems, and other skin problems. Skin scopes are familiar to Woods lamp. These larger skin analysis tools use a UV light with an interior mirror. A client can look at their face on one side of the scope while the esthetician looks through the scope and examines the skin from the other side. These scanners use a magnifying lamp and a black light to analyze skin features such as hydration and pigmentation. So when to use a Woods lamp? We're on page 418. So the Woods lamp allows the esthetician to conduct a more in-depth skin analysis, illuminating skin problems that are ordinarily invisible to the naked eye. Under the lamp, different conditions show up in various shades of colors. For instance, the thicker the skin, the whiter the fluorescence will be, okay? So here is a very awesome chart, table 10.1, which is Wood's lamp reference chart. So again, thicker corneum layer usually appears under a Wood's lamp as white fluorescence. You guys, please highlight these and obviously put a star next to the ones that you're seeing on the video right now. Of course, everything that you see highlighted with stars will help you with your chapter 10 test. But what I wanted to say also was, you're going to get asked about the Wood's lamp on your Stay Board written exam. So you want to remember this chart, okay? So again, thick corneum layer show up as white fluorescence lighting. Well, that's the color that it shows on the Wood's lamp. Horny layer of dead skin cells, white spots. Normal, healthy skin, blue-white. Thin or dehydrated skin, light violet or purple. Acne or bacteria will show up as yellow or orange. Oily areas of the face, okay, / comedones, yellow or sometimes pink or orange. Someone told me they got asked this on their state exam for the written, okay? Again, oily areas of the face where you have comedones present, it can show up as yellow or orange, okay? Hyperpigmentation or sun damage will show up as brown. Hypo, remember hypo is lack of color. Hypopigmentation will be blue, white, or yellow, green, okay? Not all pigmentation that shows up under the Wood's lamp can be completely lightened with regular exfoliation treatments. Pigmentation located at the dermal-epidermal junction can only be addressed at a medical level. Only pigmentation on the surface of the skin can be potentially lightened by exfoliation treatments and lightening products. It is also important to let clients know that addressing pigmentation is an ongoing challenge. For example, with pigmentation associated with sun damage, pigmentation can reappear if the skin is in contact with the initial stimuli of heat or UV rays. Okay, so again, sunscreen, stay away from the sun, especially if you know you are prone to hyperpigmentation. So, contraindications and best practices for the Wood's lamp. So when using the Wood's lamp, the room must be totally dark, right? Place small iPads on the client's eyes, making sure the area around the eye is still visible. The bulbs can get hot, so be very careful not to touch the skin, that they don't touch the skin or have the lamp turned on for too long, all right? Or accidentally drop the lamp on the client's face. That would be not good, right? So safety and maintenance of the Wood's lamp. So treat the Wood's lamp carefully as you would a magnifying lamp. Follow again the manufacturer's directions for cleaning. To protect the bulbs, store the cooled lamp in a safe place where it is protected from breakage. A small cover plastic tub and protective wrapping are helpful in storing the glass parts of various tools and machines. All right. Demonstrate how to safely and effectively use the rotary brush. So I think all of you guys by this point, if you're watching this video, should know what a rotary brush is and have used it a couple times in the treatment room. So highlight that, put a star next to it. So the main purpose of the rotary brush, also known as a facial brush, is to lightly exfoliate the skin. The brush can be rotated at different speeds and directions. Some brushes are simple rotary, some come with additional options such as ultrasonic technology that provide additional deep cleansing results. Brushes come in smaller sizes for the face and larger sizes for other areas of the body, such as the back, and they have 2 or 3 small brushes with different textures ranging from soft to firm. In recent years, more advanced technologies such as the ultrasonic spatula used for deep cleansing has replaced the rotary brush, okay? When to use a rotary brush. Integrating the rotary brush into your service can help you achieve various goals. So, use the brush when your goal is to lightly exfoliate the skin without the use of chemicals such as enzymes or peels. Use the brush during the second cleansing step in a facial to save you some time. Effects of the rotary brush, bottom of page 419. The effects of using the rotary brush include: the rotary brush provides light exfoliation of the client's skin. Cleansing brush can stimulate the skin and help soften excess oils, dirt, and cell buildup. So let's talk about some contraindications for the rotary brush on page 420. So to prevent harm to your clients, it is important to be aware of contraindications, of course, like always, and best practices when using the rotary brush. So to avoid damaging or furthering your client's skin by irritating it, do not use brushes on acne, coparose, fragile, or obviously inflamed skin. Moisten, remember this one, I know you remember, moisten the brush before each use to soften the bristles, okay? More sensitive skin requires a slower, steady rotation and soft brushes with fewer passes. Thicker, oilier skin can tolerate a faster speed and a more firmer brush with more passes. Fewer passes produce less exfoliation. The brush should not be overused or it can cause irritation and sensitivity to your client's skin. And of course, the big one, apply gentle pressure. You guys remember what I said, let the brush do the rotating. So avoid you doing this with your brush. Just guide the brush around your client's face and very gentle pressure. I know you remember. All right, safety and maintenance of the rotary brush. It is important to note that only brush heads that can be fully immersed, okay, in a disinfectant of appropriate strength should be used, okay? Some brushes with natural bristles may deteriorate and are prohibited from the use due to the inability to clean and disinfect them properly. So rotary brush machines come with detachable brushes for cleaning. Here are some guidelines for maintaining the brushes. So remove the brushes after each use, wash them thoroughly with soap and water. Thoroughly clean the handpiece, cords, and the machine with the disinfectant. Apply manual cleansing, immerse the brush into a disinfectant for the recommended allowed time by the manufacturer's instructions. It is important to clean, rinse, dry, and store the brushes so that they do not lose their shape when drying. If the bristles become bent or lose their shape, they will not rotate properly. Although they can be stored temporarily in a dry ultraviolet sanitizer, the brushes will break down if you leave them in there for too long, okay? So when they are completely dry, transfer them to a closed container. All right. On page 421, it is going over a mini procedure using the rotary brush. You are welcome to read through the procedures later on your own if you would like. All right, let's keep going. So now we are going to talk about the steamer, okay? Another favorite in the treatment room. So demonstrate how to safely and effectively use the steamer. Many estheticians consider the steamer to be the most important machine used in aesthetics. So professional steamers come in various sizes and models. Use only distilled water in the steamer because the mineral and calcium deposits in tap water can damage the machinery. The steamer may take approximately anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to heat up. Do not direct the arm of the steamer towards the client's face until the mist begins to flow. Okay, that is true. Because if you have a steamer, and if it ever tends to act up, and if it was to actually do more like a spitting versus steam, it could potentially burn your client's face. So be very aware of that, okay? The mist vapor is directed onto the skin surface by the nozzle at the end of the steamer's arm. Steamers may have a place for an aromatherapy ring on the inside of the nozzle head, and they may have a special feature for using essential oils. You want to make sure, though, that your steamer is built for that. A quality steamer will last for years, okay? Inexpensive models can break down quicker. It is worth the extra money sometimes to buy a good quality steamer that will last and be more reliable. That is absolutely true. All right, so when to use a steamer? We're on page 422. Integrating the steamer into the service can help to soften the skin, okay? The steamer is typically used during the second cleanse in a facial. It can be used prior to extractions, again, to soften the skin, but this effect is only temporary. It can be used to soften a facial mask and to facilitate its removal. Effects of the steamer. So there are many benefits of using a steamer during a service. So steam helps to stimulate circulation as well as to soften sebum, dead cells, and other debris. The warmth relaxes the skin and tissues, making it easier for estheticians to extract comedones. Steam can also be beneficial for the sinuses and congestion. Steamers with use of the ozone may have an antiseptic effect on the skin that is beneficial for acne and problematic skin, okay? And most steamers do come with the ozone. So steamers with ozone, which I have highlighted and put a star next to it. Ordinary oxygen in the atmosphere consists of 2 oxygen atoms, okay? Ozone consists of 3 oxygen atoms. So ozone, which is O3, ozone is what is created after a lightning storm and has a distinct smell, okay? Ozone also has an antiseptic qualities. These molecules have the power to kill bacteria and other microorganisms. That began stated, okay? Ozone is also strong oxidizer that creates free radicals. The third atom can detach from the O3 molecule and attach to other molecules. Some steamers have ozone mechanisms. High-frequency machines also create ozone, which we'll get into it in just a second. According to the EPA, exposure to ozone affects the respiratory system, can irritate the eyes, and may cause shortness of breath and coughing. OSHA standards for normal exposure should not to exceed 0.1 part per million ppm. Ozone air purifiers are ineffectual and may exceed safe levels of O3. Check the ozone output for machines before purchasing or using one to make sure that it is under the maximum exposure limits. Contraindication and best practices for the steamer. It is important to be aware of the contraindications and best practices for the steamer to prevent harming your client. Do not use too much steam on coparose or inflamed skin because it dilates the capillaries and follicles, causing more redness and irritation. Avoid placing the steamer's arm too close to the face. Avoid burning yourself. Never touch the glass jar on the steamer when it is hot, you guys, and we all know that it does get hot. It does take a little bit for it to cool down. So again, ask your instructor for demonstrations. I have demonstrated you guys how to safely remove the glass from the steamer and how to properly place it, right? Do not leave the room while steaming the client in case the steamer starts spraying water. That's what I was talking about. This may burn the client. Do not overfill. That's important. Do not overfill the steamer, okay? Because the steamer may spray excess water and again, burn the client. Clean the steamer regularly to avoid mineral buildup that causes water to spray and burn the client. Do not let the water level run low in the steamer. as the glass may break in steamers that do not have an automatic shut-off safety mechanism. If the steamer is positioned with the steam directed from below the nose and it is too close to the client, try steaming from above the head. Reposition it a few times if it's necessary to get an even placement of steam across the entire face. Do not add cold water to the steamer until it has cooled off, so as not, to make sure that you don't break the glass jar. So safety and maintenance of the steamer would be to ensure proper usage. Always read and again follow the manufacturer's directions for the steamer. Following these guidelines will keep your machine in peak working conditions for years. After each use, wipe down the outside of the steamer with a disinfectant. At night, when the glass jar is completely cooled, unscrew the empty jar, let it dry, make sure that the rubber sealed along the rim of the jar is also cleaned. Refill the steamer machine with fresh distilled water each morning. Do not overfill. Before each treatment, turn the steamer on to give it a chance to warm up. This will save valuable time when treating each client. Okay, so water used inside the steamer should be as free of chemicals and minerals as possible. Therefore, it is always recommended that distilled, not tap water, be used. Most tap water contains chlorine, other chemicals, and mineral deposits. Do not leave water in the steamer overnight or obviously on the weekends. If the steamer is not emptied regularly, deposits can collect on the heater element. Empty the jar and lightly clean with vinegar and then with soap and water. Allow the coils to dry. Neglected steamers tend to spit hot water due to the buildup of mineral deposits that occur with daily use. Mineral deposits may appear as a white or yellow crusty film on the heated element. The hot water can land on the client's face and may cause a serious burn. That would not be good, once again. I'm not going to read all of these, but again, it's also saying to never put essential oils or herbs directly in the water. Essential oils are highly active. When dropped directly into a closed jar with boiling water, they can cause excessive spitting of water or even worse than clog the steamer or cause the glass to break from the pressure. Some steamers are equipped with a wick type tool that fits in the mouth of the nozzle. A couple of drops of essential oil can be placed here before the steamer is preheated. The steam picks up the aroma as it vaporizes out into the room. So there are some steamers that are safe to use with essential oils, but again, you want to make sure that you are reading the manufacturer's instructions before just assuming that it is safe to use with essential oils. So again, there's a lot of different models out there. I would say do your research and see what works for you, and purchasing something that is within your budget, right? What else? All right, so we're moving on to the vacuum machine. We're on page 424 at the bottom. So demonstrate how to safely and effectively use the vacuum machine. So the vacuum machine, also known as the suction machine, it is used in a facial when the esthetician's goal is to remove impurities, stimulate the skin, or perform a machine aid facial lymphatic massage. The machine uses glass and a metal suction cups that come with different sizes, shapes, depending on their use. The movement of these cups across the face and neck mimics the contractions naturally made by the lymph vessels and artificially aids in the movement of lymphatic fluid. All right, so when to use the vacuum suction. So determining when to use the vacuum suction during a service is the first step in using one. So this machine can be used after disincrestation and before extractions. It can also be used in place of a massage. Effects of the vacuum suction. So the vacuum suction machine serves two main functions: to suction dirt and impurities from the skin, and to stimulate the dermal layer as well as lymphatic and blood circulation. Okay, those are the two main functions of the vacuum machine. Again, to suction dirt and impurities from the skin and to stimulate lymphatic flow and blood circulation. Contraindications, and again, best practices for the vacuum machine. It is important to be aware of the contraindications and best practices for the vacuum machine to prevent harming your client. A vacuum machine should not be used, again, on cuperosed skin with distended or dilated capillaries or on open lesions. To avoid harming the client's skin, do not use suction on inflamed rosacea or cuperosed skin. Again, put a star next to that. Never suction liquids or oils into the suction device. Okay. Avoid using strong suction because it may cause tissue damage or bruising. That's true. Holding the skin taut with the proper setting will allow you to avoid damaging the skin. Okay, so safety and maintenance for the vacuum machine. So to clean and maintain the vacuum machine, follow the following guidelines. You want to clean all glass devices with soap and water and soak them in a disinfectant, again, with appropriate strength. Follow the manufacturer's directions to clean the handpiece and the hoses. Normally, a filter is located at the end of the hose where the hose attaches to an orifice connected to the machine. The filter may have to be changed frequently depending on obviously how much it's used. Store the tips wrapped in cloth in a covered storage area to protect against breakage. Okay. And on page 426, it is describing a mini procedure on the vacuum machine. So the vacuum machine uses what it is called ventuzes. Okay, this is a ventuzi. And again, they do come in different shapes. This is the most, or at least in my opinion, the most commonly one used. Okay, I feel like you are able to use it on the décolleté and obviously on the face, but again, they do have different shapes, right? And notice how they have a little opening right there. And so I will demonstrate and show you guys how you would properly use, okay, the vacuum section, all right? But this is called a ventuzi, and yes, these are glass. And so you do have to be careful because they can break. So these are called ventuzes, okay? All right, now let's talk about galvanic current, okay? Now, I have given you guys, or if I haven't yet, I will make sure that I do that, but I know that I've already given you guys some handouts, okay, that talk about pretty much everything that is going over in this chapter, that will help you with more information in regards to, again, high frequency galvanic, disincrestation, iontophoresis, you know, all of that. So make sure that you have your handouts, that you save that in your binder. Once again, I always make sure that to tell you guys to stay very organized, and everything that I give you, handouts, everything that we're going over, just know that a lot of this stuff will be on your test, okay, on your final state board exam. They will ask you about galvanic, okay? So page 426 at the bottom, demonstrate how to safely and effectively use galvanic current. So galvanic current is used to create two significant reactions in aesthetics: chemical disincrestation and ionic iontophoresis. The galvanic machine converts the alternating current received from an electrical outlet into a direct current. Electrons are then allowed to flow continuously in the same direction. This creates a relaxation response that can be regulated to targeted specific nerve endings in the epidermis. The machine can leave a metallic taste in the mouth, which is normal. When to use galvanic current? Galvanic current is used when the esthetician's goal is to prepare the skin for extractions or assist in delivering targeted products to the skin. It can be used in a facial after the exfoliation step and prior to extraction steps, and can be used prior to masking to deliver ingredients or during the final stages of a facial. Effects of using the galvanic machine. There are two main benefits that occur when using the galvanic machine. Disincrestation causes an alkaline reaction to soften the follicles for deep cleansing. Please remember that. That is the purpose of disincrestation, is soften the follicles to help with deep cleansing and to help with extractions. Iontophoresis is used for introducing a water-soluble product into the skin. Disincrestation uses galvanic current to create a chemical reaction in the skin that emulsifies sebum and debris in the follicle. To perform disincrestation, a negative pH alkaline-based electronegative solution is placed onto the skin's surface. The solution is formulated to remain on the surface of the skin rather than being absorbed. So, when the esthetician is conducting disincrestation, the client holds the positive electrode set on the positive polarity. The esthetician uses the negative electrode set on negative polarity on the face. This creates a chemical reaction that transforms the sebum of the skin into soap, also known as saponification. Soap is made from fat and lye. When the electrical current interacts with the salts, sodium chloride, in the skin, it creates the chemical known as sodium hydroxide, or lye. This soapy substance helps dissolve excess oils, clog follicles, comedones, and other debris on the skin while softening it at the same time. Various types of electrodes are available for galvanic machines. The most common are the flat electrode and the roller. To make proper contact, each electrode must be covered with cotton, and the client must hold the electrode whose charge, which will be either a positive or a negative, is the opposite of the electrode on the skin. Baking soda in water can be used as a disincrestation fluid for Ionophoresis. Most water-based serums can be used as Iontophoresis products for cataphoresis. Effects of disincrestation. Disincrestation is beneficial for oily or acne skin because it helps soften and relax the debris in the follicle before extractions. Best practices and safety. Keep even contact with the skin once the galvanic machine is on. Electricity is flowing through the electrode, and when it is lifted, even slightly, the client may feel a mild tingling or a shock. To avoid this sensation, turn off the machine first and then remove the electrode from the skin. Clients should be advised of the possibility of these sensations prior to starting the treatment. Iontophoresis. What is iontophoresis? Iontophoresis is the process of using electric current to introduce water-soluble solutions into the skin. This process allows estheticians to transfer or penetrate ions of an applied solution into the deeper layers of the skin. Ions are atoms of molecules that carry an electrical charge. Current flows through conductivity solutions from both the positive and negative polarities. This process is known as ionization, the separating of a substance into ions. Theoretically, iontophoresis is based on universal laws of attraction. So, for example, negative attracts positive and vice versa, similar to a magnetic response. Iontophoresis creates an exchange of negative and positive ions or charges. The process of ionic penetration takes two forms: cataphoresis, which refers to the infusion of a positive product, and anophoresis, which refers to the infusion of a negative product, such as a disincrestation fluid. Effects of ionophoresis. So, several possible skin reactions and effects can occur during ionization. Effects from galvanic current iontophoresis. Negative pole, cathode, anophoresis. Negative solutions causes an alkaline reaction. Positive pole, the anode, cataphoresis. Positive solution causes an acidic reaction. Okay, so negative solution softens and relaxes tissue, stimulates nerve endings, increases blood circulation. Again, positive solutions causes an acidic reaction, tightens the skin, calms or soothes nerve endings, and decreases blood circulation. Best practices and safety considerations for iontophoresis. Keep even contact with the skin once the galvanic machine is on. Electricity is flowing through the electrode, okay, just like the galvanic, and when it is lifted evenly, even slightly, what the client may feel, again, a mild tingling or a shock, okay? So to avoid this sensation, turn off the machine first and then remove the electrode from the skin. The electrode should be continuously moving at all times. Some machines have a switch on the panel that controls the positive and negative modes so that you do not have to manually switch the red and black wires, but instead move only the switch. Polarity of solutions. You need to always check the labeling of the product to identify the polarity of the ampule, if you're using one, or the solution. Slightly acidic pH products are considered positive and are mostly used for iontophoresis. If the product were positive, the client and the esthetician would use the opposite electrodes. The technician holds the positive and the client holds the negative. Alkaline or base pH products are considered negative and are used for disincrestation. If the product is negative, the esthetician infuses the solution with the electrode set at negative, and the esthetician holds the negative electrode. The client holds the positive electrode. Some manufacturers may include ingredients in the same vial that are simultaneously positive and negative. In that case, the product should be ionized for 3 to 5 minutes on negative, followed by 3 to 5 minutes on positive. If neither a negative nor a positive polarity is indicated for an ampule, as a general rule, the esthetician should first use the negative pole and then the positive pole. This way, you are stimulating and softening the skin first and preparing it for treatment with an anophoresis, and then ending it with the product penetration, skin tightening, and soothing with cataphoresis. The molecular weight of a product is also a factor in permeability. Smaller molecules have greater penetration ability, while larger molecules cannot penetrate the skin. Water-based products will penetrate better than oil-based products. So here are some contraindication and best practices for the galvanic machine. Metal implants or pacemaker, again, braces, heart conditions, epilepsy, pregnancy, high blood pressure, fever, or any infection. Diminished nerve sensibility due to diseases such as diabetes, open or broken skin, corporal skin or rosacea, chronic migraines and headaches is one. Apprehension about the use of electrical appliances. All right, next page. So I know all of that information can be a little overwhelming, even a little bit confusing. Again, in the handout that I gave you, okay, and it looks like this. All right, it has everything broken down once again, and in hopes that you're able to understand a little bit easier. I'll be demonstrating some things, and I will also be sending and showing additional videos. Safety and maintenance of the galvanic machine. So before attempting to clean the electrodes, always read and follow the manufacturer's direction for cleaning and disinfecting the equipment. Detach the electrode core from the electrode, remove any cotton from the electrode and discard. Obviously, wash the electrode in warm soapy water. Obviously, again, we are using the same protocol, all right? Never place the metal electrode in an autoclave unless directed by the manufacturer. Carefully spray, and you want to wipe down the electrode attachment cord, handpiece, and machine with a disinfectant. All right, so we are now moving on to the high frequency machine. So the high frequency machine is a machine that utilizes an alternating or sinusoidal current, which is a smooth, repetitive, alternating current and produces a heat effect. The high frequency oscillating current passes through a device that allows for the selection of a Tesla pulse current. This current can produce a frequency of 60,000 to 200,000 hertz, depending on how it is regulated. The frequency indicates the repetition of the current per second. Because high frequency current is capable of changing polarity thousands of times per second, it is basically has no polarity and in effect does not produce chemical changes. Okay, we're at the top of page 431. This makes product penetration physically impossible. Product penetration is achieved instead by the use of galvanic current, which we just talked about. So the rapid oscillation created by the high frequency machine vibrates water molecules in the skin. This can produce a mild to strong heat effect. It is important to note that aesthetic high frequency devices have a mild effect. An example of a stronger heat reaction is seen in thermolysis, which is used for electrolysis like permanent hair removal. But the high frequency machine creates noise, and the ozone has a distinctive smell to it. You will smell it very soon. Let clients know what to expect when using high frequency machines and that it is normal. All right, so electrodes. There are several types of different or indirect electrodes that are available with high frequency. Each of these electrodes have unique benefits and features that produce specific physiological reactions in aesthetic treatments. If you use the high frequency machine, you will need to be trained in the procedure and how to use the different electrodes. So during the manufacturing process, most of the air is removed from high frequency electrodes, creating a vacuum in the tube. Okay, the air is then replaced mainly with neon gas. However, some electrodes may also contain argon gas. As electricity passes through these gases, okay, they emit visible shades of light. Neon gas produces a pink or orange or red light, and it is typically used for sensitive skin and aging skin. Argon gas, okay, produces blue or violet light, and it is typically used for normal to oily and acne-prone skin. Sometimes these lights are inaccurately called infrared or ultraviolet because of their colors. However, there are no infrared or ultraviolet rays in high frequency. In addition to different forms of gas, the electrodes come in different shapes and sizes to accommodate the treatment area. So, type and general application of electrodes. There are many types of electrodes that can be used in a high frequency machine treatment. All right, so on the next table, it kind of breaks down the various types and their application. So when to use high frequency? So the high frequency machine is useful and versatile tool, aesthetic tool. It may be applied after extractions or used over a product, but will not penetrate a product as iontophoresis would, okay? So the machine also creates ozone, which has a germicidal action on the skin. And that is why I love using high frequency, especially after extractions, okay? Because of the germicidal effect that it'll have on helping heal the skin. So on page 432, here's the chart that has all the different electrodes and obviously the general application. Okay, so there's one called a small mushroom. Okay, the small mushroom, place the electrode in the handheld device tightly, make sure that it's in place. And of course, you can use a gauze on your client and use the electrode in circular movements across the forehead area and then on the nose, cheeks, and chin area. So this is what the mushroom looks like. Okay, just like this. All right, and again, these are glass, so we have to be very careful with these. If you drop it, there's a big possibility that it would potentially break. So we have to be very careful. So that's the mushroom. We're gonna skip over to the indirect spiral. Okay, the indirect spiral, it's actually used during massage. I do not have the indirect spiral. Then there's the sparking glass tip, which is this one. Okay. Looks like a little pencil in a way. And again, this one, we usually use it to spark certain spots on the skin. All right, this is a sparker. Okay, there's also one that is shaped like a spoon, looks like this. Okay, and then there's the comb. Okay, looks like this. Okay, and this one is mainly for use in a scalp treatment. Okay, this actually feels really good on your scalp and your hair. So it looks like a comb, right? So this is the comb. Again, I'll be showing you guys how to use these in person. All right, so effects of high frequency. So the high frequency machine benefits the skin in the following ways. It has an antiseptic and healing effect on the skin. It stimulates circulation. It helps oxygenate the skin. It increases cell metabolism. It helps coagulate and heal any open lesions after extractions by sparking it with the mushroom electrode. It generates a warm feeling that has a relaxing effect on the skin. So some contraindications for high frequency would be, again, corporal skin, inflamed areas, pacemakers, metal implants, heart problems, high blood pressure, braces, epilepsy, pregnancy, body piercings from the waist up. The client should avoid any contact with metal. Okay, so jewelry, all of that must be removed. So adhere to the following guidelines. To avoid being burned, the client should avoid Contact with metal during electrical machine treatments. Clients should remove all jewelry and piercings prior to treatment. Again, the technician should ground their fingers on the electrode first, meaning that you need to put your finger on the electrode prior to putting it to the skin. If you simply do this, you're going to shock the client. So you always want to ground the electrode first, place it to the skin. Once you have it on the skin, you'll be able to glide the electrode around the face. Once it's time for you to remove the electrode, you will ground the electrode again, meaning you put your finger on it, and then you remove the electrode off the skin, turn the machine off, okay? But again, I will be demonstrating that. Okay. Next page, page 434. Safety and maintenance again. So after each use, you want to make sure that you clean the glass electrode by wiping it with a solution of soap and water. Do not use alcohol on electrodes, okay? Also, you cannot immerse the electrode directly in the water, okay? Place only the glass end and not this metal part, okay? You do not submerge completely into the EPA, okay? And then of course you wanna wipe down the entire electrode with a disinfectant, all right? Again, all the instructions are here, and of course we then dry them very well and we keep them in a closed container, okay? Demonstrate how to safely and effectively use the spray machine. So a lot of you have already started using the spray machine. So again, some of this is just a review. So the spray mists are beneficial in calming and hydrating the skin. The spray machine is part of the vacuum machine, and it is attached via a hose that is connected to a small plastic bottle with a spray nozzle. So when to use the spray machine? This bottle with the spray nozzle can be filled with freshener solution or toner, which is what we use here, okay? To gently mist the client's face after cleansing or another treatment step such as a massage or at the end of your treatment, depending on your protocol. So effects of using the spray machine. The spray machine affects the skin by adding moisture during or after the treatment, and it is used to calm and hydrate the skin. Please highlight all of that. Everything that you see highlighted on the book, I hope you are following along and making notes, all right? So contraindications would be: do not use on clients who have respiratory issues where the spray may cause breathing irritation. Do not allow the spray to drip into the client's eyes, their ears, or their mouth, or running down their neck. Do not leave toners and other liquids in the spray bottle for extended periods of time or overnight. Do not use the spray machine in a room that is not well ventilated. And again, it's usually a very light mist, and that's pretty much it, okay? Safety, again, after use, you want to clean the bottle, cords, everything. Again, mineral buildup in the nozzle of the sprayer should be cleaned monthly or obviously more often, okay? Next, it is talking about paraffin wax, okay? Please highlight that paragraph, put a star next to it. So the paraffin wax heaters that allow for direct immersion of a client's hand and foot in a paraffin bath should not be used due to concerns of cross-contaminations. However, modern methods have developed. One method uses a machine that heats up a plastic sleeve filled with paraffin, okay? For single-use disposable applications, another technique developed to prevent contamination of the wax, it is used for a disposable brush to apply the wax to your client. So when to use paraffin wax? Again, the warm paraffin mask is used for hydrating dry skin, and it is generally applied over a hydrating body lotion to the hands and feet. Again, it goes on to explaining effects of using the paraffin wax. Allows the esthetician to provide a treatment that offers quick results, but it lasts only for a limited period of time. Some contraindications would be clients who have compromised skin or skin conditions or general health conditions that are not cleared for the use of heated based modalities are not clear for paraffin wax treatments, okay? And of course, then it goes on talking about the maintenance, all right? Now, let's talk about state the benefits and use of electric mitts and boots. I feel like these have become a little bit more popular. Not everyone uses the electrical mitts and boots, but obviously it is here in the book, so let's talk about it. So electric boots and mitts are similar to electric heating pads and have adjustable settings. Although not commonly used, which is what I just mentioned, it is important to understand their function and the benefits for a client. So when to use the mitts and boots. So the boots and mitts heat the hand and feet to increase circulation and to promote overall relaxation. Often promoted as an add-on to a service, boots and mitts actually perform an important function. The heat helps lotion penetrate and it soothes aching feet and hands. Effects of electric mitts and boots. So due to the application of heat, electric mitts and boots increase penetration of lotion and creams applied to the skin. So some contraindications would be to use electric mitts and boots, put lotion on the client's hand and or feet and cover with plastic single-use liners before inserting into the warmer. Warm the mitts and boots for approximately 10 minutes, okay? Make sure that the warmers do not get too hot. If the client feels sweaty, then the lotion cannot penetrate, okay? Safety and maintenance. So to clean the electric mitts and boots, wipe them with a disinfectant after each use. All right, we're on page 438. Identify why you should make informed decisions when purchasing equipment as a licensed esthetician. Please highlight the first few sentences and put a star next to it. It is important to do your research before purchasing equipment. Regulations define what devices can be used within an esthetician's scope of practice. Another purchasing consideration is insurance coverage for the device to protect you and your clients. Make sure the manufacturer's claims are accurate and there is clinical evidence for support the claims. It is advisable to go slowly when considering purchasing expensive machines. Warranties and training provided from the manufacturer and distributor are two important considerations when purchasing equipment. Education and training are required for many high-tech machines. Advances in science and technologies have generated many new high-performance tools that enhance the esthetician's work. Estheticians must continue their education to keep abreast of the development and therapeutic skincare. In this chapter, we have an overview of specialized tools and equipment designed to help the esthetician obtain the best results possible in skincare treatments. While some machines are not used on a regular basis, it's good to be familiar with them. So, Chapter 13, Advanced Topic and Treatments for additional information on more advanced equipment. Study and review the suggested guidelines for operating machinery and practice your skills until you are comfortable working with equipment. Always be conscious about safety issues and contraindications when using machines. Clients want instant results, so make sure you can deliver what you promise. Invest in high-quality machines, and your investment will increase your credibility and revenue as an esthetician. All right, you guys, so that was a very interesting chapter, okay? Now, please do not forget to go over, okay, all the procedures that start on page 439, okay? This one's going over the use of steamer, okay? It tells you all the steps. On page 434, it is describing and going over the procedures on how to perform disincrestation and iontophoresis using Galvanic Machine, okay? What you need. On page 445, please put a star next to the number 10. It's gonna answer a chapter question, okay? That one's long. On page 448, it is showing you the procedures on the use of the high frequency machine. Okay, on page 450, the use of the spray machine. And then of course we have our glossary, okay? Please do not ignore all the procedures on this chapter. It will help you understand everything a lot better, even though I will be sending you guys additional information and videos to help you understand everything a lot better. So anyways, this concludes our chapter 10, facial devices and technology. I hope you guys enjoyed and you were able to retain some of this information. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.